What is going on, guys? JD from New York, WWE Monday Night Raw review for last night's show live from Denver, Colorado, February 17th, 2014. And like I always say, week in and week out, fuck those other guys. Fuck those other guys. This right here is your number one source for all your WWE news right here on YouTube.com. Now, before I get into the review, guys, of what was a pretty lackluster go-home show for the WWE Elimination Chamber, I have one very important piece of information to share with you all. Now, obviously, if you guys listen to me for my WWE news, rumors, and weekend review every weekend right here on my channel, I'm changing the name of Weekend Review. I thought it was a little bit too stale. I thought it was a little bit boring. It didn't pack that punch that I wanted from a name of a news and rumors show that I do on my channel. It was kind of boring to me. So I asked you guys last week for last week's news and rumors. If you guys, missed that one, link is down below in the comment section. Link is down below in the description. You guys will find that there. If you missed the news and rumors last week, go check that out. I got big news on Sting and why he hasn't signed with the WWE yet. But I asked you guys opinions and help for names, okay? I narrowed it down to 3, and I ultimately chose 1. And the new name of News and Rumors is now going to be Off the Script with JD. Okay, I like the name. It fits perfectly. I'm going off the script, and I'm giving you guys my opinion on News and Rumors, what I think of the news and rumors happening in the world of professional wrestling, and what I would do concerning storylines going forward for every character, every mid-card main eventer on the WWE roster. Anyone that's headlined in news and rumors, I will give you my thoughts and opinion on that. That's why I ultimately chose Off the Script. I think it goes very well with what I do here, my attitude and my opinion on certain things regarding the WWE product. Now that I got that off my chest and out of the way, expect that this Saturday. Off the Script, number 1, News and Rumors. So you guys have that to look forward to. It's going to be a great show. I'm actually having my buddy Issac make a thumbnail for me too. Hopefully he gets that done before Saturday. Issac does all my thumbnails. If you guys did not know that, his link is always in my description down below. So go please follow him on Twitter. He's a big WWE guy. He loves the WWE just like everybody else here. Okay? Now that I got that out of the way, like I said, let's talk WWE Monday Night Raw last night. Lackluster build, guys. A lackluster build towards the Elimination Chamber. It was very, very predictable and very, very, I would say it was the safe route for the WWE to go. But there's certain things I liked here and there. And I'm going to start off with this whole Randy Orton thing. Now, I know I mentioned this last week, and if you guys do not see the progression of this whole idea of Randy Orton trying to, pretty much be put in a match with everyone that's in the Elimination Chamber with him. He fought all his 5 opponents. The only one that he has not lost to was Christian, okay? Christian lost, and Randy Orton got the win over Christian a couple weeks back on SmackDown. But I like this storyline, but it also, at the same time, is very predictable. Because if Randy Orton is on a losing streak, the first thing that comes to mind is he in the WWE doghouse? Is he going to lose the WWE Championship? Do the WWE even trust him or want him as their WWE Champion anymore? That's the first thing from a normal viewer. But to me, I said this last week, and I this is going to be my prediction going into the Elimination pay-per-view this Sunday. Randy Orton is on a losing streak. He lost to 4 out of the 5 guys who will be his opponent in the Elimination Chamber. The reason why he lost the majority of these matches, except for Christian, is because the WWE is setting him up to win the Elimination Chamber. They're doing nothing but putting doubt in your mind as the viewer. They want you to believe Randy Orton is going to lose the WWE Championship. But for me, who's been watching the product for so long, I see this as, you know what, the heel and the WWE Champion in this case is getting his ass kicked on a weekly basis. He's losing every match that he has on WWE television. So the right thing to do here, and the most common sense thing to do is, he loses and then ultimately comes out on top in the Elimination Chamber. That's where they're going. I fully expect Randy Orton to win the Elimination Chamber and go on to fight Batista because quite frankly, I don't believe the WWE is going to switch the main event. If anything, it's going to be Batista versus Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan in a triple threat match if they want to go that route. But I'll talk about what I think Daniel Bryan's going to be doing at WrestleMania in a little bit. And it all stems from the beginning of that show. But I do believe Randy Orton's going to walk out the WWE Champion at the Elimination Chamber. And I will have Behind the Mic number 4, WWE Elimination Chamber preview and predictions coming up this week. And I'll give you guys my opinions on where I think the pay-per-view is going leading into WrestleMania. But as for the beginning of the show, very basic. Very, very safe route that they went, like I mentioned before. You know, everybody comes out. Cena starts to show off. And then you got Christian coming down. You got Sheamus. You got Orton. You got fucking Daniel Bryan coming down. So all the guys in the Elimination Chamber are there to sell themselves as to why they should win the pay-per-view. Very basic. We've seen this before. You know, it was a decent segment. It built up the rest of the show. Daniel Bryan was booked in a match with Christian, and that took up the majority of the 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes of the show. You know, other matches were made throughout the rest of the show. You had Cena versus Cesaro, which I'll talk about. You had Sheamus fighting Randy Orton, which was advertised for the main event already a couple of weeks back. So it set up the show. It progressed the show nicely. It gave us something to look forward to as Monday Night Raw went on. But Daniel Bryan and Christian, great match to start off the show. I love the way Christian just sneak attacked Daniel Bryan. It shows that these guys are hungry, especially someone like Christian who's been out of action for so long. It shows that he's hungry and wants to get right back into that WWE Championship picture. So I enjoyed that. The whole match progressed, very nicely up until Kane was on the outside watching. Now, Daniel Bryan got the win, okay? And in this match, they're really playing up Daniel Bryan's shoulder injury, which Christian was working on during the match. Then Kane on the outside said, "That's a nice win, Bryan. That's a nice win, Daniel." But what I failed to tell you is that, this is one of 2 matches. And, the next match you're going to be in is against me right now. So Kane books himself in a match with Daniel Bryan, which to me ultimately is going to progress this storyline with Daniel Bryan versus The Authority. Okay? In the match, Kane was working on his shoulder. Michael Cole kept mentioning the shoulder. JBL kept mentioning the shoulder. As you've seen, Kane was working on the shoulder the entire match. Now, the whole idea with the shoulder is Daniel Bryan's not hurt. It's selling an angle. Now, Daniel Bryan is going to make you believe that his shoulder is hurt, but he's quite fine. He's quite all right. The shoulder injury is going to play a major part in the Elimination Chamber, and it raises 3 questions. Okay, 3 questions I'm gonna propose to you guys right now. Number 1, is Daniel Bryan's shoulder going to be okay leading into the Elimination Chamber? Okay, is this going to be his downfall on losing the match? Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, is Daniel Bryan setting up a Cinderella victory, winning the WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber, even with a bad shoulder? That's number 2. Number 3, is Daniel Bryan going to be taken out of the Elimination Chamber because of this shoulder injury? Those are 3 questions that are being raised right now by this shoulder angle, the storyline about his shoulder. So, that's what I was thinking about when I was watching Monday Night Raw last night. I didn't tweet this out because, obviously, I want to talk about it during Monday Night Raw review, but those are the 3 questions going into the Elimination Chamber concerning Daniel Bryan. I already told you what I think of Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton ultimately is still going to win. All this is doing right now with Daniel Bryan is setting up his storyline with Triple H, because Daniel Bryan is going to lose the Elimination Chamber match and fail to win the WWE Championship in the Chamber because of his shoulder. His shoulder was damaged by Kane. Kane is part of the Authority. Daniel Bryan will get his revenge on Kane, but ultimately, Triple H is the one in charge. Triple H is the one giving orders to Kane. Daniel Bryan is going to take out the head of the snake, and that being Triple H. And that's when they're going to start colliding, booking, and, scheduling their feud to commence leading into WrestleMania. So look forward to that. I firmly believe Daniel Bryan and Triple H are being booked for WrestleMania 30. So that's the way I think that's going to go. But other than that, the first 30 minutes were taken up quite nicely with Daniel Bryan, Christian, and Kane. It was very enjoyable, but it was rather, I would say, lazy. Okay, so that's what I think about that. Now, the rest of the show kind of failed to grasp the attention of the viewer, hour 2 and hour 3. There were some highlights here and there, one being Antonio Cesaro and John Cena. I don't know anyone on the WWE roster right now who is having a better month than Antonio Cesaro. This man is a fucking beast. Okay? If you do not believe Cesaro is going to be a main event player in 2014, all you have to do is go back and watch his match with Randy Orton on SmackDown, and then watch his match with John Cena last night. Great fucking match. And I tell you guys all the time, I am not a John Cena fan. I hate John Cena. I hate John Cena, the character, because he's so fucking boring. There's nothing special about John Cena. But the one thing that I hold in high regard about John Cena that makes him okay to me is the man can fucking wrestle. He never has a bad match. No matter who he's in the ring against, whether it's a guy like Bryan and Punk, who ultimately can out-wrestle him 7 days out of the week, or it's an Antonio Cesaro, an up-and-coming mid-carder, who the WWE really never put that much stock into. They let him shine this week. Orton and Cena. Now, ultimately, he lost to Randy Orton. Actually, he beat Randy Orton. I'm sorry. He beat Randy Orton and lost to John Cena. But in the defeat to John Cena, he looked fantastic. Cesaro is going to be a major player in the WWE this year. He deserves it. I love the name change, Cesaro. It just speaks to you instead of Antonio. I fully agree with Vince here. I think Cesaro, the one-word name, fits him well. Cesaro. It's just a better name, especially if you want to elevate him into the main event scene. Antonio Cesaro, I don't see as a main eventer. Cesaro, I see as a main event guy. Great match. If you guys haven't seen it or you missed Raw last night, I would highly advise you to go to WWE's YouTube page and find that match. I'll probably give you like the last 5 minutes, but the last 5 minutes were probably the best. So, great match between those two guys, probably the highlight of the show. The other thing is the Shield and the Wyatt family. I don't know if you guys are getting a little bit frustrated about, the teases here in the last 2 weeks. The Wyatt family backed down from the Shield. This is all being done to promote the pay-per-view. The tease was done perfectly the last 2 weeks, okay? The Wyatt family and the Shield reeks, and I said this on Twitter last night, reeks of old school booking. They're not going to give you anything on Monday Night Raw. They're holding these two groups back just so that you buy the pay-per-view, because the WWE knows, and I as a fan, and I'm sure you guys as a fan, this is probably the hottest storyline on WWE television right now. This is the most anticipated match on that pay-per-view Sunday. Forget the Elimination Chamber. The Elimination Chamber is done in a way that it's rather predictable. The build was lackluster. It was okay, but this is what we want to see. We want to see Roman Reigns go one-on-one with Bray Wyatt. We want to see these guys collide. There's tension there. The tension in the Shield. Ambrose trying to outshine and outdo Roman Reigns, with Seth Rollins being the guy in the background, being like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you trying to outdo each other? Roman Reigns defeated Mark Henry quite easily last night on Monday Night Raw, but Ambrose was jealous because Reigns got the victory quite easily, and Ambrose looked at Roman Reigns and just all of a sudden just started to attack Mark Henry, saying, that's how we do it. That's how I do it in the Shield. There was no need for the extra attack after Roman Reigns easily defeated Mark Henry. But it's showing you the progression of Ambrose's frustration with Roman Reigns slowly stepping up as the main guy in the Shield. And then the WWE knows they're going to break him away. Ambrose and Reigns are eventually going to collide. But the way this Wyatt family and Shield thing was done last night, perfectly. It reeks of old school. They're not going to give you anything on TV. They're going to have you spend the $60 to watch these 6 guys go at it. And Bray Wyatt, I say it all the time. I said it last night on Twitter. Future WWE champion. The man is absolutely brilliant playing his character. He's got one of those characters that just reeks of a WWE champion. Can you imagine Bray Wyatt with a few years under his belt, and he gets better and better and better in the ring, and he develops into his character a little bit more? Can you imagine this man as the WWE champion? I can. He's the quintessential grade A top level heel. He's getting there. He's not even in the WWE a year yet, and he's already there. That's how good Bray Wyatt is. Unbelievable guy. And like I said in News and Rumors a couple weeks back, he writes his own promos. Everything he says is from his mouth, and it's approved by Vince McMahon. Vince is letting him run with this character, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see this match at the Elimination Chamber. Probably the #1 match everyone is looking forward to on the pay-per-view this Sunday. Greatly done. I love the way this whole thing is going about. And don't worry, guys. The teases are done because the WWE knows they have a money feud with the Wyatts and the Shield. So don't worry about that. It was great last night. Perfectly done. Now, also, one other thing I want to mention, Batista and Alberto Del Rio. I don't know if you guys noticed. Del Rio's now wearing a neck brace. Really? The man was, shooting at the mouth about Batista coming back, and he's acting all tough. Then he gets thrown to a fucking table. He gets destroyed by Batista last week. Now he's wearing a neck brace. I want to pose this question to you guys. Do you guys even believe Del Rio has a chance after watching him last night wear a neck brace and Batista acting like a big bully? I mean, why is this match even taking place? Does Del Rio even stand a chance to even get a move in on Sunday? They're doing this for Batista because he has absolutely nothing to do between now and WrestleMania. He's eventually going to get into it with Orton, but he's got nothing to do right now, so that will just feed him Del Rio. Del Rio's a nobody. That's what I took away from that. Del Rio wearing a neck brace. Does he even stand a chance? A man with a neck brace leading into a pay-per-view this Sunday, going against Batista, that spells doom. That, to me, usually the Divas matches are bathroom breaks. To me, on Sunday, Batista versus Del Rio is the bathroom break. That's what I think about that. But other than that, guys, the rest of the show was kind of iffy. And another thing I wanna point out: what the fuck happened to Cody Rhodes and Goldust? These two were carrying the tag team division. Now they're playing with fucking toys. Now they're losing to the Outlaws. They can't get their fucking rematch. The Usos are now in line for a tag team championship match. Just the deterioration of the Rhodes brothers in the tag team division. What the fuck is going on? These guys were called upon to give you quality matches, and every time they went out there, they succeeded and went above our expectations. Now they're playing with fucking toys in the back with a segment with Wade Barrett, which was fucking hilarious. Wade Barrett needs to get back in the ring. I love this Bad News Barrett gimmick. He's absolutely hilarious. But what happened to the Rhodes brothers? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is setting up some kind of frustration or tension between the two that's going to lead to a WrestleMania match, but I don't know what happened. Hopefully they get back on the right track, but it's rather sad to see them go from the top of the division to pretty much nothing. I don't know what Triple H is doing, but hopefully there's a right reason to why this is all happening. And then obviously the main event, guys, Sheamus versus Randy Orton. Obviously nothing special. Sheamus wins the match. I just don't like Sheamus. Sheamus needs to go back as a heel. Sheamus needs to go back and be a heel. Just forget all the fucking smiling and the clowning around. You know, he hasn't shown that much clowning around, but he needs to be a heel. Irish guy who loves to drink and go out there and kick ass. That's it. That's all he needs to do. And his comeback has been rather lame. They haven't had any direction with Sheamus since he's come back. I mean, he had a good showing at the Royal Rumble, but it's nothing to get you excited. Sheamus has done nothing to make you believe he's going to win the Elimination Chamber. Nothing. The only guys you need to be looking out for in the chamber are Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, and Antonio Cesaro. I don't even think John Cena has a chance of winning the Elimination Chamber. I honestly believe Bray Wyatt's going to play a factor in somehow getting him eliminated. It is what it is, but I just don't see John Cena as a threat in the Elimination Chamber, even though he's talking about all these young guys. You have to step up to the plate and take down the big dog. I'm not going anywhere. If you want this number one spot, you have to come and earn it. You have to come through me. But it is what it is, guys. I mean, Monday Night Raw, like I said, was a lackluster show. It was a very predictable build. It was okay for what it was, but it's all during WrestleMania season, and nothing is speaking to me. Now, the Monday Night Raw next week is probably the biggest Raw of the year, besides the one after WrestleMania. Next week's Raw, Undertaker's coming back. Hulk Hogan's going to be there. We got the WWE Network. Sting possibly may show up next week on Raw. We don't know. There's a lot of big names heading to Monday Night Raw next week. Undertaker is going to be setting up his angle for WrestleMania. It is with Brock Lesnar. That is set in stone. I'll talk about that on News and Rumors this Saturday. But next week's Raw is going to be pretty much a pay-per-view level 3-hour show. So that's the Monday Night Raw that I suggest none of you miss. You've all been asking for The Undertaker. Undertaker's coming back. Hogan's going to be there. It's going to be nice to see Hogan back on WWE TV and see what he has to say. But as far as the build towards the Elimination Chamber, very lazy, very predictable. It's decent, but it doesn't speak to the viewer. That's just the way I see it. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this review, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about what happened last night on the show. Let me know what you think about the Elimination Chamber. Leave your comments down below in the in the video, whatever. And I'll see you guys on the first ever Off the Script, the new version of WWE News and Rumors, guys. I'll see you guys on Saturday. But until then, I will be also heading to you this week with a behind the mic preview and predictions for the Elimination Chamber. So look out for that. I'll post it on Twitter. If you guys are not following me, all my social media links are down below. But like I said, guys, leave your comments down below. I'll see you guys later this week with behind the mic and Off the Script. And I will see you guys later. Take care.